Here again, value set example, language codes. We looked at the ethnicity before. No big difference. Same thing. You say which code maps to what code. Internal SIF. Now the way it behaves with these value sets is you have to be very aware of it. If your language spoken at home in the student personal object says English in the database, of course it will map, let's say EN, it will map to English in the SIF object. If it has no match whatsoever, right? You say language in there, name something that doesn't really exist. XYZ, right? It doesn't really map to anything. Then no match, it just takes XYZ. That's possibly not quite what you want. So I get how to solve that problem. If there is no value in the database, null, the whole thing will be not even going to, the whole language code element will not go into your SIF object. With the occasional problem graph as mentioned just in the other one. So now the XYZ that doesn't match, right? That's not quite good because the SIF object won't like it a lot. It's not a valid value. So how are we going to get around that? Set one default. Right. So that should make sure if nothing matches, we use default. So that this kind of case statement for the programmers is the otherwise match. See example here, how complex it can get. You can override the default here, right, instead of having it up here. So default, use 7. If not null, use default, which maps back to 7. You see all these bits. What it will result in that particular case there, I think it should actually say 7, it should also say 7, but if I get 104 in my code, it will of course, in my database, 104, it will match to H, Hispanic. If my database is null value, I default it to 7, which goes in here. Use the default value 7, which is of course none of those. I could have instead, say, defaulted Indian up here, say default, use default. What that means, not use that here, you would then take that in here. So default here and default there, one overrides the other. That one down here takes precedence over a default in the value set. Here's just another thing with, that's what Raf was mentioning, if null, suppress, means if the birth date is not given, don't even put it into the XML. That is generally the default behavior anyway, but in .NET it has occasionally some problems. So be aware of the if null suppress, means don't put the date in there at all, it will still put an empty thing in there. In the .NET side, it's a bit painful.